Hello. This is always my favorite part of the live is going live and waiting for people to get here. I almost never know what to do or what to say. So before we start our practice today, if you're just jumping on, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, how you're doing. Get started in about 2 minutes-ish. Like to be a little flexible. You know, yoga is about flexibility. If you would like to get some props, blocks, blankets, or pillows, that might be helpful for this evening's practice. I'm going to be working into the hips, lower body. Seems to be my favorite thing to work on lately. One of the things that I was processing today is how quickly our emotions can go from really, really high to really, really low. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has been feeling a fluctuation in their emotions. As we'll use that a little bit this evening as we go through our practice. Hip work can sometimes open up different things that are stored in our muscle bellies that are ready to be released. So getting in touch with our emotions, feeling all the feels, the good and the interesting. All right, it is 5 o'clock, so it is time to start. Hello, if you're watching, hello. Allow yourself to go ahead and take a comfortable seat on the mat. We'll begin our practice tonight with our breath, allowing ourselves to settle in, get grounded, and then we'll slowly move into those hips nice and slow. So I hope you guys are ready. All right, I'll meet you back there for our breath work. Thanks for joining. All right. Root your seat into the ground, elongate through your spine. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Bring your eyes to a close and notice your breath. As you're noticing your breath, begin to pay attention to what it's saying to you, how it feels as it enters into your body and exits your body. Notice its texture, what it sounds like. As you begin to focus more on your breath, let the thoughts of your mind pass. Pushing pause on them, knowing that we can come back to them after our practice and they will still be there if they're important. As your breath enters your body, feel where it travels to, where it gets stuck, where maybe it wants to go. We'll begin to move into our belly breathing. And our belly breathing, if you would like a guide, you can go ahead and place one hand on your belly. The hand on your belly will rise as you inhale, inflating like a balloon, and it will fall back towards your spine on the exhale. If you're new to belly breathing, go ahead and place your hand on your belly just so that it feels the rise and the fall guiding you. Sometimes if we're really used to breathing into our chest, our top hand, if we have a hand on our chest, will move. So we really want to focus on bringing our air down into our belly. Inhaling, we inflate, hand rises, and as we exhale, our belly button draws back towards our spine. So if you've been practicing this breath and you do not need the guide, you can feel free to keep both hands on your knees, allowing yourself to be nice and comfortable, creating that space within. Moving our focus from our belly breath into the length of our inhale and the length of our exhale. How many counts in? How many counts out? Working towards an evenness and a smoothness of the inhale and the exhale. Again, allowing your breath to be your guide within your body. Let your mind pause and the thoughts pass. If your mind starts to get chatty, you can always come back to listening to your heartbeat. If you'd like, on your next inhale, you can join me at adding a pause to the top and the bottom of your breath, just to feel the silence, the stillness, the peace in the pause between the inhale and the exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale, belly rises. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Continue this version of breath if you so choose, or you can just return back to your regular belly breathing. If you don't want to have the pause, that is okay. Allow yourself to notice what you notice by adding the pause, the sound of silence, the sound of stillness in between the breath, what that brings up for you. Sometimes it's insanely uncomfortable to have that really, really, really quiet, sacred space. And sometimes it's magnificently beautiful. Where does it sit for you? Let's take 3 more rounds of breath wherever you're at. Filling up with as much air into your belly as you can, thinking expanding horizontally with your air At the same time, vertically, elongating through your spine. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to sink heavy into your mat, root down. On your third and final exhale, allow yourself to come back to just your normal breathing. Taking notice from the beginning of your practice to now, what has shifted within you? With your eyes still closed, continue breathing. As we move into a scan of the body, to prepare us for our practice this evening, which will be in the hips, getting in touch with our breath and our body. While you breathe, check in with the areas of your body that are a little bit chatty. Maybe they feel sticky, maybe they feel tense, maybe they feel good. If there's any sensations coming up, allow your focus to go to those places. And if any area is drawing your attention, give it an emotion. For example, I have some tightness in my back, so my emotion is exhaustion. I have some limited mobility in my right wrist, mostly just pain and overwork. So scan your body. Notice any areas that are calling for your attention and give them an emotion. It can be positive, it can be neutral, it can maybe not be a great emotion, but just notice it. We're going to be working with these emotions this evening and any others that decide to surface or come up. And in that, allow yourself to have permission to feel and process however you choose. Our breath will be our guide this evening, allowing us to go deeper into our hips. Our breath will be our guide this evening, taking us on a journey within. Our breath will be our guide this evening, creating trust between our breath and our body. Where will your breath take you? Take your next moment to set your intention for your practice this evening. What brings you to your mat? Something brought you here. Whatever that is, honor it. I really wish I could know your guys' intentions, but it's different doing classes without you in front of me. So as you're setting your intention, once you have it, take a moment to think of one or more things that you're grateful for today. When you're ready, begin to blink your eyes back, open into the space. We'll begin our seated warm-up. So again, since we're going to be in the hips, if you would like to grab some blocks, blankets, pillows, whatever you have at your home that is accessible to you, feel free to grab anything that might support your knees or your hips or give you a little bit of lift. And as we go, if you need to pause and go grab something, feel free to do that because it's your practice. Inhale, have your arms reach all the way tall. Exhale, right hand to your right side. Inhale, reach tall through your left arm, tipping to your right side. As you breathe into your belly, again, focusing back to our belly breathing, belly rises on our inhale, falls on our exhale. You can have a slight bend in your elbow. Maybe you take your elbow all the way down to the mat and reach here. Just keep both hips rooted into the ground. Otherwise, come back out just a little ways to make sure both are rooted. Open your left shoulder back and away, peeling open your chest. And reach a little further, pushing your left rib cage out to the side. Staying with that belly breathing. Inhale back to center, both arms rise. Exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches tall. Taking it over to the right, the left. We just did the right. On your inhale, your belly will rise, inflating like a balloon. Exhale, let your belly come back towards your spine, deflate, emptying all the air out, pushing your right rib cage out to the side, reach a little further. Peeling your right shoulder open and back as your chest shines up and forward. Inhale back to center, reach. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind the hip. Inhale, tall, lengthen. And as you exhale, twist over to your right shoulder. Using your lower core to twist, inhale, create space. Exhale, as you wring out those internal organs, allow yourself to maybe twist a couple millimeters deeper. Maybe you stay right where you are. If there's a lot of pulling, allow yourself to soften slightly. Maybe just melt your shoulders away from your ears. Release your hand and see if you stay in your twist or if you need to use your core a little bit more to get there. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, back to center, reach. Exhale, left hand behind, right hand to your knee. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. From your lower core, inhale into your belly. And as you exhale, take it a little deeper. Remembering to find that softness, letting your breath guide you inside. Connecting back to your intention. Inhale, hands rise, reach tall, maybe a little taller than you did before. You have more space now. Exhale, surrender your hands right down to meet the floor. Fold forward. Allowing your head to rest easy, gentle gaze down right in front of you. Maybe your elbows come to the mat if you'd like a little support here. Keeping both sits bones rooted into the earth. Breathe into your back side, giving a little bit of space and length between each vertebra. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhale, belly comes to your spine. Next, inhale, walk your hands back towards your seat. Place your hands right behind your hips, fingertips pointing up towards your toes. Draw your shoulders down and back and lift your chest up, shining your heart forward. Option to keep your chin in a neutral position, or maybe it tips up towards the sky. Find your breath. Checking in with those sticky spots. Assign them an emotion. We'll use it later. On your inhale, walk your hands back to center. We're going to uncross our legs and take the opposite cross. Whatever foot is in front, put it behind. Resituate and inhale, reach just a little taller. Exhale, fold and surrender. Inhale deep into your belly. Exhale, surrender a little closer to the floor. Inhaling, walking your hands back to center. Place your hands right behind you once again. Drawing your shoulders down and back. Lift up your chest, drawing your heart forward. Breathe into your belly. Chin can stay neutral, or maybe it tips to the sky. Inhaling, walking your hands forward. Place your hands in front of you. Bring yourself into a tabletop. Coming on to all fours. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees underneath your hips. And the tops of your feet planted on the mat. We'll bring some fluidity into our spine here, taking some rounds of cat and cow on your breath. As you inhale, your belly button is going to drop towards the floor, tailbone and crown of your head rising up, creating a U shape. And then as you exhale, you're going to push the floor away, arch your back like a cat, and draw your gaze towards your belly button. Inhaling, creating that U shape. Exhaling, pushing the floor away. So allow your breath to guide you at your pace. Allowing these movements to prepare your spine to be more fluid. Take 2 more rounds wherever you're at. And on your second exhale, find yourself back in a nice neutral tabletop. Drawing your right knee up towards your chest, plant your foot in between your hands. Your right foot. And we'll take a low lunge right here. I'm gonna walk my foot out just a little ways. We're working on bringing a 90-degree bend in between our knees, so our knee is over the top of our ankle. Hands can be planted on the floor. If you have some blocks and you want to come up a little ways, feel free to bring yourself up, elevate a little bit. We'll take a few breaths here. Allow your left hip flexor to drop down heavy towards the floor, really sinking in. If you'd like to stay here, you can, or if you want a little bit more challenge or it's in your practice, feel free to tuck your left toes and bring your knee up off the floor. And you can take your lunge from here. You choose. If you've lost your belly breath, allow it to come back. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhaling, belly falls. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhaling, full. Exhale to surrender. Let your hips get a little heavier. Every micro movement is progress. If you have any sensations coming up, assign it an emotion. And as you exhale, maybe an HA sound or a sigh comes out just to let go, release what you can. Straighten your front leg out. Send your hips back towards your heel, your left heel. Bring your right toes to rise towards the sky. And then bring your hips a little bit more. Get an option to be up on your blocks. If you need a little bit more height, you can always rise yourself up. Putting a bend in your right knee. Inhale, come forward into your low lunge once again, setting yourself up however you'd like. And breathe. Notice how it feels maybe a little different than when we first went into it and how it feels coming back. We're going to use our breath really to get into our lower body tonight. So bear with me, we're going to go slow. With every inhale, create more space and more trust in your hips. And as you exhale, feel free to add that sigh, that surrender, and let your left hip flexor sink a little bit deeper into the mat. If you need to walk your foot out a little ways to give yourself more space to do so, just remember to keep your 90-degree bend. If at any point in time this becomes too much or too intense, you can always feel free to just pop back into child's pose and have a nice restorative rest, coming back at any point whenever you're ready or until we move on. On your next inhale, straighten your right leg, bringing your seat back towards your left heel once again. This time, keep your toes pointed down towards the mat. We're going to work the top of our leg this time. Last time we were working the back side. You want to rock your foot inside and outside. Kind of feel different stretches. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhaling, belly falls. As you inhale, where is your breath taking you? What kind of adventure are you on internally? On your next inhale, bring your right knee to a bend once again. This time, bring both of your hands to the inside of your right arch. Walk your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. And we'll play in some lizard for a little bit. You have the option to stay right here. If you'd like to go deeper, or if your hips are more open or you have the flexibility, you can drop down to your elbows, all the way down to the mat. Bring your elbows to your block if you'd like a little bit of rise. And if you really want that challenge, go ahead and tuck your right toes, or your left toes, excuse me, and take whichever variation in your arms you would like. And if you'd like to have a little bit of movement, feel free to windshield wiper your right knee in and out, bringing some fluidity to your hip socket joint. And as you breathe down into your hips, creating space, maybe you exhale with that sigh, letting go of whatever emotions you're assigning to the sensations that are coming up. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Let your hips become as heavy as they can. Full inhales, followed by our smooth exhales. On your third exhale, let your right foot and your right knee come to meet your left. Allow yourself to sit back towards your seat. Knees can be narrow or they can be wide. Sink into your child's pose. If your knees are wide, you're going to work into your hips. If your knees are together, you'll work into your lower back. You decide where you want to feel. Inhale, coming back up into your tabletop. Left foot is coming in between your hands as we set up for the other side. Getting ourselves into this lunge, this low lunge. Same variations here, hands planted on the floor. If you need a little bit more space, grab your blocks, come up a little ways. Option to tuck your right toes, bring your knee up if you'd like your challenge. This is your practice. Let your breath guide you to where you want to go tonight. Inhaling, belly rises. Create space down into your hips. Exhale. Sink your right hip flexor heavy into the mat. You need to walk your left toes over your ankle. Allowing yourself to surrender deeper into the mat on each exhale. Give yourself permission to go into your edge. Allowing your breath and your body to have that trust, knowing it'll all be okay. On your inhale, straighten out your left front knee, sending your hips back towards your right heel. Toes coming towards the sky. And bring them right back in. Breathe into the back side of your left leg. Because, ooh, there's some stuff going on there for me. I don't know about you. The thing about sensation is when we learn to use our breath to create that trust, we don't always have to run away from whatever it is that's causing the sensation. It's typically an emotion, a feeling, a situation, scenario, or other. But allow your breath to take you there. On your inhale, put your bend back in your left knee, feeling how it is to re-enter this pose. Now that we've spent some time breathing and opening, surrendering, maybe we get a new layer, a new level of depth, a new emotion. Sink back in, letting your hips become heavy, falling towards the mat as you inhale. Create space, breathing into your belly. Exhaling, belly comes to your spine, let everything go. Reflecting back to your intention of what brings you to your mat this evening. Breathe that in. On your next inhale, straighten your left front, sending your right hips back. Pointing your toes down towards the floor, this time opening up the top of our front shin here. Option to bring yourself up on blocks if you need a little bit more height. Bringing your hips back in alignment if they've swayed out one way or the other. Maybe you're rocking your heel in and out, seeing how that changes the stretch. Inhaling the bend back into your left knee. Both hands will come to the inside of your left arch. Left foot walks to the outer edge of the mat, setting up for our lizard. Hands underneath your shoulders. Same options once again. Take it all the way down to your elbows. Elbows to your block. Untuck your right toes, maybe bringing your knee up. It's be a much more active and strengthening pose if you do from here. Otherwise, allow your knee to rest and gently ease in to all of the opening that's happening. You choose. Maybe your left knee rocks in and out like that windshield wiper, creating some fluidity in your hip socket. Where is your breath taking you now? As you inhale, breathing deep into your belly, creating all that space in your hips. Exhale, surrender your hips even heavier into the mat, almost as if they're being pushed down from above. Let your breath take you to that edge. You'll know when to stop. Breathe in there, and as you exhale, maybe you find that micro movement and maybe you're exactly where you need to be. Three more long, smooth inhales. followed by our cleansing sigh breath, HA sound. Bringing your left toes and your knees back to meet your right. Taking another child's pose. Knees can be together if you want to work into the lower back, or bring your knees wide to the edges, pushing your seat back towards your heels, sinking your hips down towards the floor. Surrender and breathe. Let your next breath bring you right back into your tabletop. Allow your seat to come to the mat. Cross-legged position. Bring your right heel towards your left sits bone. Knee in front of your belly button as much as you can. Right knee in front of your belly button. Left heel is going to come back towards your right hip. And your left knee is going to come on top of, hopefully, probably, maybe not, you never know. Left knee is going to work towards being on top of, aligned with your right knee on the bottom. As we continue to open up our hips, this does get easier, I do promise. It may look goofy, it may feel very awkward, it might be intense. So what I'm going to invite you to do is come back to your belly breathing. Hands may come to your heart center, maybe they stay just resting on your knees. And we're gonna breathe. We're gonna breathe right through it. Your eyes come to a close, it might be a little easier to travel within, letting your breath guide you into those chatty areas to find out what they're looking for, what they're asking, and what they're ready to release. With your exhales, you can use that HA, and maybe your hips open a little more. Maybe you readjust your feet and your knee starts to come more in alignment. Maybe stay right where you're at. And also maybe grab a prop and place a block underneath your leg if you'd like a little extra support. So if it becomes too much, always feel free to use props to help you go even slower into the pose. On your inhale, your belly rises. As you exhale that HA, let your hips release. Any little bit counts. You may begin to notice that the longer we're here breathing, the easier it becomes, the more you get used to being in this position, the chatter becomes different, maybe not non-existent, but it changes. You start to hit that, what feels like surrender. So it's your body unfolding and unwinding with your breath. It's beginning to believe that, yes, I can let go and it's safe. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Let's take 5 more breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Release. And one more. And let it go. Bringing your left heel to uncross your right leg. Maybe you straighten your legs out. Give yourself a little shake. Bringing your left heel towards your right sits bones. Knee coming in front of your belly button. Right heel coming over towards your left hip. Right knee, possibly, maybe, potentially coming over the top of your left knee, maybe resting on top. Both sits bones rooted into the ground. Hands can be on your knees or maybe at prayer. Allow your eyes to come to a close and find your breath. Inhaling to create space, and your exhale is your surrender to let be what is. Try to stay with the sensation and notice it as your breath reveals it to you. And let it be where it's at. Inhaling deep into your belly as you exhale, surrender a little more. Where can you let go? Just a little. Maybe readjust if you need to situate to allow yourself to go to that edge. Maybe you're right where you need to be. Your eyes are closed. Allow your breath to guide you inside. Taking 5 more full inhales right here. Let's breathe into our belly. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Belly rises and falls. Lengthen and surrender. As you begin to uncross, your right foot comes over the top, stretching out your left. Take your shake, shake, shake. Opening up a little bit here. Both of your heels are going to come wide off of your mat. No matter which direction you're on, just bring your feet wide like forward fold. We started out our practice with a cross-legged forward fold. We're going to do a wide leg forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up. As you exhale, hinge forward, allowing your toes to point up towards the sky. Thumbs up, up. Hands fall towards the ground, getting as far as you can. Maybe it's right here, but really lean into opening up your inner legs. Maybe your elbows come to the mat. Maybe your hands stretch out and you let your head hang heavy. Push the energy, the emotion, anything you're feeling out through the bottom of your feet. If you like to think of a color, just think of it coming out of your feet and going down into the ground. If you have an emotion and you'd like to put a name on it and a color on it, send it into the ground. As you inhale, allow your body to open, and as you exhale, soften and release. Find that surrender. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, go a little deeper. Maybe reach a little further. Extending long through both heels, really pushing your heels out and away. And then at the same time, finding that softness in your muscles. Can you be active and soft all at the same time? If your hands are stretched out or you're on your bent elbows, walk your hands over towards your right foot, reaching out over your leg, out past your toes if that's accessible. Maybe your elbows come to the floor or just rest on your shin. Maybe you reach all the way out, keeping your toes still up towards the sky. Find your breath in your belly. Exhale, surrender a little bit more. Where else can you go in this pose? If you notice a different sensation or a different emotion coming up, name it, add a color, send it into the ground. On your next inhale, walk back to the center. Pause for just a beat. Let your exhale have your hands walk towards your left side. Elbows to the earth, hands reaching out past your foot, or allow your hands to rest right on your shin. Keeping your toes up towards the sky. Find your belly breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, surrender. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Reach out one last time for a few breaths. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, meet the earth. Keeping your toes up. On your next inhale, walk your hands back up to neutral position. Bring your soles of your feet to touch. Clasping your hands around the bottoms of your feet, thumbs towards your inner arch. Maybe you give yourself a little massage here. Lengthen tall through your spine, drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Pushing your knees down towards the floor. If you'd like, you can draw your elbows to your calf muscles and give a little extra pressure as you pull yourself forward, chest towards the floor, knees down towards the earth, opening your hips from here. Or you can simply stay right here and just let this be restful. Your breath will let you know. Finding your belly breath, connect back to your intention for your practice. Noticing the sensation and the emotion, sit with it, be with it. Thank it and let it go. One more deep, full breath. Exhale, HA. As you bring yourself back up to seated. Stretch your legs down long. Feet coming towards the outer corners of your mat. Allowing your spine to roll down until you have a flat back on the mat. One vertebra at a time. Allowing your arms to come down long towards your side, palms facing up. Give yourself a little shake and wiggle. Letting your body sink and become heavy on the mat. Releasing any tension or muscles that you're holding. Find full relaxation and let your eyes fall to a close. Preparing for our final Shavasana. Check in with all the areas that we're asking for your attention at the beginning of our practice and see how far they've come. Allowing your breath to take you inside, listening for your heartbeat and anything your body is saying. Let yourself be at rest in full surrender for the next few minutes. And the sound of my voice will bring us back out to close our practice this evening. Begin to bring your breath back into your belly. Allowing some movement to come into your toes and your fingertips. Inhaling, reaching your hands up overhead, taking a full body stretch. Drawing your knees towards your chest. Allow yourself to roll to either your left or your right side. Bringing your ear to your arm as a pillow, finding fetal position. Eyes closed, take a beat just to integrate your practice into your body. When you're ready, push yourself back up to seated, allowing hands to come to prayer at heart center. In this moment, recall your intention and your gratitudes for today. Honor yourself for what opened and released in your body today, knowing that every little bit counts. And no matter where you're at, we're always evolving into the next version of ourselves. So let the unfolding happen with each breath every single day. And with the next each breath, the evolution continues. So no matter where you're at in your journey, the love and the light in me honors the love and the light in each and every single one of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Take your time coming out of your yoga practice this evening. Hey, Carlene, I've just seen your messages now. It's a little hard for me to see when I'm way so far away. Glad you could make it. If anyone wants to jump on and let me know how you're feeling, anything that came up, what you experienced in your practice this evening, feel free to put that in the comments. I always like to be here for a little bit just to share with you guys. If you have to jump off, I totally understand, and thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow on a Friday for yoga again, and we'll do 5 p.m. tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central. And my hope for you is that whatever came up for you in this practice this evening, you were able to surrender and release, soften and let go of something, and allow your breath to stay connected and rooted in your intention. So however you did, know that I'm celebrating with you right here, and I'll be back tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.